Jeff here. I just wanted to highlight a few tools that I use doing my job as an internet marketer and website operator. And I'm starting here in Google Chrome, and there are a number of extensions. You can see the little icons for extensions that I use here in Chrome. I know that if you use another browser, many of those extensions also exist. One thing I use is Session Buddy, which captures all of my multiple Chrome windows and all the tabs that I have open, so that I can save those configurations, and if I close my browser I can get back all those tabs really easily. And sometimes I'm like a tabaholic. I might have 100 tabs going across, which is crazy, but it's just kind of the way I've developed a bad habit over time. Then I use this thing called What Font, and what that does is when I click on it, if I'm on any website, say I liked this font, which I don't particularly like it, I hover over that font and click on it, and it tells me the font family and the size and the height of the lines and the size of the font. So that's kind of handy if you're trying to customize a theme or something, or you have a page on a website that you want to use a special font in, and you find something elsewhere that you like, you can use this little What the Font. Then I also, for the same kinds of purposes, use this color picker little extension, and it works in a similar way. You just hover over a part of a website that you're interested in, and it'll tell you what the color is, and if you click there, you can copy the hexadecimal color code for that color, or anywhere on the page, and that comes in really handy. A lot of themes let you specify colors for different elements on the page, and that way you can go to find a color that you like anywhere on the internet and copy the color code. And here is something called Price Jump. Price Jump is an Amazon related plugin, and because I have the Price Jump extension installed, when I go to an Amazon product page like this, for most products it will give me a price history. So I can see this is my book that's selling, and Amazon looks like raised the price of my book in November, and it gives you sort of a history of the Amazon price and then new and used competitor kinds of pricing as well. There are a couple other tabs here that I actually don't use, but if you want to do some tracking with Price Jump, you can do this, and I'm pretty sure that this is a free plugin. While I'm on Amazon, let me just jump over here. This is something called Jungle Scout, and what Jungle Scout does is any page that you have on Amazon that has products listed on it, you just, after you have the page up like this, it will scan the page and give you an estimate for how many sales the particular products are and what the prices were, and approximately how much revenue those particular books made in that last month. So this is really handy. Say you're researching, something like toy dolls, and you're interested in maybe promoting an affiliate product on toy dolls or something like that. So you have a page like this. Now this isn't quite this, we're in the books section. Let's say we move to a different section, like, let's see if we can find the toys. Yeah, there we go, toys and games. So we'll search for toy dolls here, and we have all of these dolls selected. Then we can just click on this Jungle Scout, and it will go through all of these different dolls and give us an idea of how many of these individual products are estimated to be sold in a month, how much that product is generating gross, number of reviews, and then the rating, the average rating for the products and things like that. So that's really, really handy if you're researching Amazon affiliate products. That's Jungle Scout. I'll have a link to that below this video. Let's see, let's keep going down the list here. Okay, this is Facebook Pixel Helper. If you put Facebook pixels on your pages, which you can research in other videos of mine or on the web, then this tells you if there's a pixel on the page. This is the Google Tag Assistant, and I'm not going to talk about that right now, but it does a similar function. Then Pinterest. So if there's an image that you're interested in pinning, this plugin, typically, I don't know that it actually does it for these Amazon pictures, but if you go to sort of a more normal site that has pictures on it, and then this plugin allows you to immediately pin any picture that you see onto your page. I use LastPass. That's this little icon, the red icon with the dots, as my password manager. I have so many accounts on so many different websites that there are literally hundreds of them in LastPass. And here's Dropbox. I can dump things directly into Dropbox from my browser. Keepa, we talked about that. That's a little thing that gives you the price history of products that you find. This is just a Chromecast thing. This is called Font Changer. Font Changer, if you come across a web page that you use a lot but you hate the font, or it's too small, or you can't read it, you just click on Font Changer, and then you can pick any font that you want from this very, very extensive list, and it will actually change the page to display in that font that's you like more, or is more readable for whatever reason. And then your browser will from then on display using that font. And I installed this at one point when Google Chrome was being crazy to me and showing me really silly looking fonts. Okay, here's a plugin from Google itself, and you have to be logged into an account that you own the Google Analytics for, or rather a website. So here's kind of a silly little website that I own called Emoticons Only. And when I click on this little font, it shows me right above the page some of the Google Analytics associated with this particular page of this site. So that's kind of handy. The other thing that it does is, by virtue of having this installed inside Google Analytics, there's some additional information that you don't get otherwise if you don't have the extension installed. Jungle Scout, we covered that. MOZ, this is an interesting toolbar when we do a search for anything, let's just say like dog training. Now that I'm signed in to MOZ, when I click on the MOZ extension, then for every entry on the search result page, MOZ inserts this page authority and domain authority bar, so you can see, like, if you're competing on the phrase dog training, then these are the websites and how they rank. So this first page actually does domain authority of 10, which is quite low. And so if you're trying to beat them out, that would be encouraging to you. Now their page authority is 23, which is a bit higher. And then I'm in Indianapolis, so this page ranked pretty high. Domain authority 56, pretty substantial. 84, really substantial. So you can use this when you're doing keyword analysis and trying to find your competitors who are outranking you, just to see if they're really very strong or not. If they're kind of weak competitors outranking you, then that'll tell you that just maybe a few links would be enough to push you up and beat them in the rankings, or certainly some analysis of the title. For example, in this case, we're trying to rank for dog training, although that's misspelled. But it actually showed us the results for dog training. And if you didn't have the word dog training in your title at all, or if it wasn't towards the beginning, you could try adjusting your title words, and that would probably help give you a boost in ranking for that particular keyword. Now, anytime you change the title, obviously you reduce your chances for one keyword and increase them for another keyword, so you always have to keep that in mind. So those are some of the extensions I use. I also use Evernote to capture things, so I could like capture images or notes or clips from different web pages in Evernote, and that's what that one is. And then aside from Google Analytics, Google Search Console is one of the most important tools that I use, and that is free from Google. You just have to apply for it once you have ownership and control of a website. And one of the most important pages in Google Search Console, which is also called Webmaster Tools. You see, Webmaster Tools is still part of the URL for Google Search Console, even though they've renamed it. This is one of the most important pages, and it's incredibly important because it shows you the keywords that people are using to find your site, and how many times that keyword was shown to users, how many times they clicked on it, the percentage of times that they clicked on it, and then most importantly the position on the page that keyword is found. So you can track this over time, and you can see how you're doing this month compared to the last 28 days, for example. So here, this site has a worse average positions over the past 28 days than it did the 28 days before that. But you can look, you can analyze that and see that, like flamingo emojis is at 2.5 and was at 2.5 before that, so there was no change there. However, turkey emoticons, as you might guess, because Thanksgiving approached, my ranking rose from normally being at position 7.5 to 5.9 during Thanksgiving season, which is an ideal time for it to improve. And so the click-through went up very dramatically from 1.57 to 4.18. So you can see just from this one screen, and there's many other screens within Search Console, why this is such a valuable tool for any kind of SEO analysis. And another one that I use for checking backlinks is this Ahref. I'm going to just go ahead and type in emoticons. Sorry, I'm using one hand to hold up the mic. So here we go. And Ahrefs is a good analyzer of backlink profile. And so this is kind of one of the most important pages for that, and this is the number of domains that are linking into the website. It looks like it's going up and down quite a bit. It's kind of unusual, actually. And referring pages are there. These are the actual number of domains, and so you can see there's around 500 of them, but the number of pages is a lot more than 500 because some domains have many pages with links to this website. So this is another important tool, and it does a million different things. This is actually the paid version of Ahrefs, but there's a free version as well that gives you a lot of this same data. And then while I'm talking about that, another tool that is really important to me is something called SECockpit. Let's bring that up. And I go to ownoptimize.com, SECockpit. Let me log into my account here. I use this tool for keyword research. So, for example, I did a search on best baby, and one feature of this tool is that even though I searched for best baby, the tool is smart enough to do insertion of words like best formula for babies, and it can also add words after your search term like best baby books. But the most important part of this tool is that it shows you the monthly searches for that term, and then it also shows you the competition level for that term. So like here the competition is only 17%, whereas here it's 82%, and that means that those with a big dark orange color line are the hardest to rank for, and those with the shorter line there are the easiest. But what this green bar indicates is it's a combination of how many searches there are and how difficult it is to rank for that word, which means that the anything with kind of a nice little green here is something that's good to go after according to SECockpit. And SECockpit is really cool. Like what I can do here is say, well, even though they're saying this is a good one to go after because it's high search and nominal competition level, what I can do is filter on the competition, and I can say I only want things that are under 15 in competition. So what this does is it says that these are really, really competitive search phrases, and they have, so what I have here is everything that's, these search results, there's not a ton of searches in a month, but the competition for this search is very, very low, 9.91%. So if I were to search for this, what I would do is best way to wind a baby or wind a baby, or best month to have a baby. I could search for that. Let's try that, best month to have a baby. We'll go over here. And this, in combination with the MOZ tool, remember I showed you that earlier, which gives us a little bar here. So this is MOZ's opinion of the difficulty of the site or the phrase to rank for. And you see, so this is page authority 1. So the site authority is very, very high, but actually this particular page has a very low authority, ranking in the #1 spot. So I use a combination of this SECockpit tool and MOZ to try to find long tail search keywords that I will write about for my content websites. So this is a really good tool, and guys who are excellent in particularly in the Amazon affiliate site industry make use of this tool a lot because it gives them this combination. Now over on the side here is also the CPC, which is handy to know. You can kind of differentiate higher paying keywords, like here this is best baby formula, which is a product, from those that really have nothing to do, like here dead baby jokes. Nobody's bidding on that keyword, so the CPC, the earnings per click that you could expect, is much lower for a word like that. Now this data is widely known to be not very accurate, and I'm not talking about just this tool. This tool isn't any worse than any others, but a lot of times it varies a lot what a click is actually worth for any particular search phrase. So that's a really important tool that I use, and I'll wrap it up now. I know this video is getting really long. There are a lot of other tools that I use, but I just wanted to show you some of the more interesting ones, and best of luck with running your website.